Now yesterday we were looking at drawing the, if this is y, we were looking at drawing the derivative function. Okay, so if it was f of x, this would be f dash of x. So I'm just going to go quickly through question 5. Question 5 is not one that you have to do, but question 5 will give you a really good understanding and help with the ones that you have to do in this exercise as well. Does that make sense? So, what is the derivative? What does that mean? The derivative, which is the gradient. So, what do we know the gradient is here?
Negative.
It's negative. So that means we've got to start with a negative gradient. So negative is down here. What is our gradient at that point there?
Zero.
Zero. And what's our x value? Zero. So I know it's got to be 0. What's the gradient this side?
Positive.
Positive. So I know it's got to be somewhere there. So basically, that's what our gradient's going to look like. The graph of our gradient. You've got to really use your, just a few, we know that that's 0, x is 0 and the gradient's 0. So we've got that. We know that the gradient here is steep and negative. So steep and negative means it's going to be a value down here. This is going to be less steep, so it's going to have a less negative value. Does that make sense? We've got there, this is less steep and positive, so it's going to have a smaller positive value. This is steep, so it's going to have a higher positive value. Any questions on that part there? Beautiful. I move it up a little bit. Okay. So if I got this one here, okay, this turning point should be on there. We've got a turning point here. What do we know about those turning points? What do we know about the gradient? 0. Thank you. They're 0. Okay. So at this point here, I know it's 0. At that point there, roughly there, roughly there, I know it's going to be 0. Okay. So I've got 2 points there and there where it's going to be 0. What's this going to be?
Positive.
Positive? Yep. So I've got some positive values. So I know it's going to be positive. What about between here and here? Negative. So between there, and I know it's going to be less steep and steep, but then it's going to come back to 0, doesn't it? So it's less steep. So these values here and this value here are going to be the same. This value here and this value here is going to be the same. So we're getting something like that. Then what's this going to be?
Positive.
Positive. So I end up with something like that. So you've really got to try and think about how does this work. So we're just looking at the basic concepts. But that one and that one are going to be roughly the same. Okay. Here and here, we're going to get a really steep point, and then it's going to get less again. Any questions with that? Okay, remember this is divide x.
Oh, why is it I have the last 2 marks on it?
This one here and this one here. Our 2 turn points. So we've got that one there. Our gradient, I know it's going to be 0. So that's that point there.
Yeah.
Yep. This one here, I've got another turning point. My x is 0. So I know my gradient there is going to be 0. I'm just looking, remember this is our gradient.
How do you know it's a combination?
Huh?
How do you know it goes like that then?
Okay, so you understand those 2 points?
Yeah.
Yeah? So what's my gradient here?
Positive.
Positive. So I know it's got to be positive. It's going to be steep, and then it's going to get less steep. So it's going to decrease in value
Yeah.
until it gets to 0.
Okay.
Then here, it's going to be negative, and then it gets to its steepest point.
Yeah, I get it.
Yep, so this is steep and negative. So that point there will probably be where it's at its steepest there. And then it's symmetrical either side, so... Yep. Okay. Any other questions with that one?
I figured out last time.
Rightio. Can I move it up? Now, these ones here, the graphs are actually underneath. Okay, this is choosing the graphs, but instead of flicking it up and down, I'm drawing them here. So you will be able to see the graphs for the question. So I'll just show you that. So here, it's matching them up here, okay? So it's which graphs A to F corresponded with A to F. So you don't have to draw them all down. You'll get the answers to these because they're all down here. Yep. So just sit and watch and try and soak in the information. Yep. I'm just doing it so that I don't have to scroll it up and down. So if we have this. What have we got? Some points here. So, is there any 0 points?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's probably a 0 there and a 0 there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've probably got a 0 there and a 0 about there. So that's what we need to look for. So I've got those 2 points. So that corresponds with that point there. That one corresponds with that point there. So I've got my 2 zeros. Once you've got that, they're the key things that you look for. What have I got here? So what's this?
Negative.
It's a negative and it starts off steep and gets less. So I know it's a negative, starts off steep and gets less. So it's coming up that way. What have I got now? I've got 0. And then it's negative again. Okay, so between here and here, it's going to be negative again. It's going to get to a steep point. Then what it's going to do? It's going to come back up to 0. So it's getting negative, 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 negative. That's gone down that way. What's happened here? It's got to 0. It goes down again. It's a negative gradient. So we're getting a couple of mountains here. Because it goes negative gradient, 0, negative gradient, 0, negative gradient. So this is our negative gradient. Okay? Our negative gradient's up here, then it goes back to a negative gradient. It gets steep and negative, so we've got down here. Then it starts getting less, goes back up to 0 here, then it's going negative again. We got that? So get our 2 points. Get your zeros in first. That's the key. Getting your zeros in and then figuring out what's happening in between. Can I move it up?
Yeah.
Okay, what about this one? What's the first thing we need to do?
0.
Where's our 0?
A little bit after the.
At the top, right there. So there's our 0. So our x value is there, so it's about there. Okay, so I know my 0 is there. What gradient have I got this way?
Positive.
Positive. Okay, so it starts off steep and then it's getting less and less. So it's coming down this way. Gets to 0, then it's negative. So it's...
Shush.
Yep. So can you see I'm matching that 0 with that 0. So it's at the same, roughly the same point where the x is. So 0 at that point there. This is positive gradient, that's a positive gradient. This is a negative gradient, it's a negative gradient, okay? Can I go next one? Okay, let's have a look at this one. Okay,
Zero the whole way.
what's our gradient? 0 the whole way. So it's going to be a line
On the 0.
like that because it's 0 the whole way. Where our x value is at 0. At all our x values at 0. Does that make sense? So it's 0 all the way along. People get that muddled up. They make silly mistakes with these ones. So that's 0 all the way. It's got no gradient, it's flat, and at all x values. At all x values, it's 0. Can I rub it off? Everyone got that one? Yep. Okay, what about this one?
There's no zero.
It's like straight all the way above the 0. Or below.
Yeah, it's straight all the way, but above the 0. Why is it above the 0?
Because it's positive.
Because it's positive. So it's a constant gradient. So no matter where I work it out, I'm going to get the value of like 2, it might be a gradient of 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So it's going to be a straight line across there. Okay? And it's going to be positive. So that's going to be a positive value. So it's a positive and it's constant. So it's not going to change. It's a nice flat graph. Everyone understand that one? It's constant and positive. So no matter where I work out my gradient, I'm going to get the same value. So this is the same value and positive. So if I scoop this one up, what? Oh no, we're up to the divided x's. We've done it all now. Okay, so we've done all of these graphs now. So can you see how you've got to look at the gradient of the graph? Yep. Find the 0 points. They're the points that help you.
I'm going to do all this.